over here. That goes in the box. See if that works. So take off my ships. I say that every time. That's my slippers. Okay, today is number 102 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And today what I'm going to do is talk about the attribute of God that is love. So traditionally in Islam, there's 99 names of God. Of course, Muslims don't agree on which names are of God or not. And traditionally, they're called names or attributes. But for yoga, which is kind of like a gnat, I don't know if it's a gnat, but for yoga, they're going to be considered energy, sort of like a Sufi spin on the attributes of what traditionalists call an attribute. So it's important to understand them as an energy, these attributes as an energy, because it, in my opinion, makes more sense. So the word that I'm going to focus on is from the Quran, and God is called the most loving. So the loving. So God is called the most loving in chapter 11, verse 90. So chapter 11, verse 90. And I'll read part of the verse. My Lord is most merciful, most loving. And it's also in chapter 85, verse 14. And this is the whole verse in regards to God. And is most forgiving, loving. So the transliteration from the Arabic word to English letters is A-L, which is the, W, capital W, A-D-U-D. So that is the loving. And it's an energy, and it's important to understand it as an energy because in the Quran, many places, God, well, I guess it says that God does not love blah, 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 whatever it may be. But it's not in a human understanding like God doesn't love, because God is the loving. So it's not that he doesn't love this Muslim, is that when you have, say, the opposite of love, which some say is hate, when you have hate, then God, that's a barrier. And God, since God is the energy of love, can't be with hate. And that's why in verse 85, 14, and even verse 1190, it includes forgiveness. So when you forgive, capital F, forgive, you forgive yourself, you forgive the person, you have no more hate, and that goes, then God and you, or the person, becomes one. Because God can't be with hate. So God doesn't hate, he just can't be with hate. And that is the barrier, hate. But when you forgive, hate leaves, and you and God become one. It's very yoga-like, and it's sort of like Sufism. So when you love, then in a way, you are God. I know a lot of traditionals like, hey, you're not God. If God is love, and you love, then maybe you are God. But not the creator. You're not the creator. You didn't create the universe and all that. But you do experience God in that way. So with that said, this is number 102, YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And it's not like I read those verses. It's not like of course it sounds like I didn't plan to say all that, and I didn't really plan. I just read them this morning. I said, hey, I'm gonna look up some verses about love and God in the Quran. And I already knew those verses, but then it reminded me, and then speaking on it. So no planned lecture here, just going off the cuff. So we're gonna do the 4 sun salutations like we did yesterday, and you're just going to focus on the breathing. I always repeat this because that's what we're doing, focusing on the breathing, letting go of judgment, letting go of everything, and just becoming one. When the mind and body is one, then you're doing yoga, no matter how you think the body should look. I need to shut this curtain. Sorry. I know, so professional. So let's go ahead and begin in mountain pose. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent. Hips are tilted. Arms are relaxed. So tension in the arms or the shoulders. And lengthen yourself up. And then line up the bones where the skeleton is just standing. Remember, you just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And when you focus on the breathing, a few things happen. One, it heightens your awareness, lets you know what's going on in the body. For me, for example, it heightens my awareness. I have an issue with my lower back. I always say that, but it aches right now. Last 2 days it's been aching, but I'm just aware of it. I'm not focused on it. And that's a mindset that we're gaining. In other words, I'm not going to focus on my problems. I'm going to be aware of them and handle them, but I'm not going to focus on them. My problems are not going to become me. And then what happens, the focus on the breathing allows the mind and body to become one. You're going to let go of judgment. You're going to let go of all those type of things in the mind and just focus on the breathing. And in yoga, the yoga philosophy, the idea is that prana, life energy, rise in on the breath. And in a way, you're becoming more alive in a sense. You're going to bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. This is the first stretch. So inhale slowly, then exhale, hinge forward from the lower back. And then we're just going to go in the ragdoll. With the ragdoll, arms are dangling, head is dangling, no tension in the neck. And you're just letting yourself go where you can go. You're not controlling it. You're not pulling yourself down. You're not trying to be somewhere. You're just accepting where you are. So if you're up like this, you're accepting it. If you're just like this, you're accepting it. If you're doing what you think is perfect and you're going all the way down, you accept it. You even let go of that judgment. Let go of judgment and let the mind and body become one. Very important. The palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're going to arch the back, raise the head. Inhale slowly. And then you're going to exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in, push all the air out. You are pulling yourself in this one, but you're just watching yourself breathe. Inhale, arch the back, raise the head. Inhale as much as you can, then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Forehead's going to the knees. Push all the air out. And again, arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. And then exhale, pull yourself in and down. Push all the air out. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back. We're going to do a low lunge. And the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor. in the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight. If the back is straight, you're going to elongate, so you're going to stretch out, feel opened. Openness is a mindset. And if you're arching, you're going to arch the back and make sure the front knee is not over the toes, to your palms, maybe to your fingers, fingertips. Maybe you're up like this. You're just focused on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. You're going to think of the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, straighten the leg as straight as you can get it, and then move into the downward dog. With the downward dog, you're pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones going to the ceiling, heels towards the floor, and you are pushing into this one. But then you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you can't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, focus on the breathing, and just let the mind and body become one. Let go of judgment, let go of trying to be somewhere, let go of control, let go of all that type of stuff that's in the mind. Those are barriers. Those things will prevent the mind and body from becoming one. Then you're going to slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest. You slide up, tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. Modify this pose how you have to. If you need to go to hands and knees, you go to hands and knees. You can just stay at the hands and knees, or you can arch the back and do the cow. That's the cow. Or you do the small cobra. Small cobra, you're on your belly, hands are up. Chest is up, hands to the floor, but you're not using them. So you're not pushing up, you're pulling up. And just focus on the breathing. And then back to downward dog, pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. And you're pushing into this pose, focusing on the breathing, subtle, accept, and focus. You can bring the left foot up in between the hands into a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight. If the back is straight, you're elongating. So you're stretching out. And if your back is arched, you're scooping, still pushing forward. Make sure the front knee is not over the toes. You're to your palms, fingertips, or you're up like this. For me right now, my hand's up a little bit. But eventually my palms go all the way down. But I'm just accepting where I am, focusing on the breathing. And people say, hey, as a yoga instructor, shouldn't you be doing poses perfectly? Hey, that's judgment, man. Yoga is the mind and body connecting. Actually, I'm arching my back, trying to arch my back, and it looks straight. I know it does because I've seen it. I know my back. And then with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, settle here for a second or so, and then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Focus on the breathing. Now here, when you're pulling yourself in and down, you're still letting yourself breathe. So you're not controlling it in that sense. So when you inhale, the belly swells with air, it pushes you out of the pose. When you exhale, the belly goes in, you go back into the pose. Very important to focus on the breathing and be aware of that subtle movement. You're focusing on the breathing, which heightens your awareness. You're aware of every little thing that's happening in the body, but you're not focused on it. Focusing on the breathing. I can bring my head in further, but what happens is here, my head disappears. And I know I can't speak on the mic. The mic is already terrible, so reaching out, up and back, inhale, exhale, again, inhale, and then exhale, Palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Put yourself in and down. Fix my shirt. I'll get a new mic eventually. Just focus on the breathing. The right foot is back into a low lunge. The back foot, top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight or arched. Make sure the front knee is not over the toes. If it is, you want to lengthen up some. If it is a little bit, that's fine too. Just do the best you can and just focus on the breathing. Hey, I just thought about the dog. The dog, I thought about him earlier too, but he's not barking again. But this morning when I taken my kids to school, yesterday morning, I saw a big camper out there and stuff. So I might have went on vacation and took the dog. He'll be back. That's my guess. With the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, a dog barks outside, down some houses, those houses, every morning around 5:45. Pushing into this pose, focus on the breathing. And he was doing it for 100 yoga routines. And then yesterday, 101, he stopped barking. He was trying to help me out for 100 times, like, woof, woof, you can do it. That's what he was saying. And then you slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest, slide up. And modify this pose if you have to. Just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And then back to downward dog. Pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels towards the floor. So you're stretching the legs. No tension in the neck. The head dangles. And you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you can't go any further or you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, accept where you are, and focus only on the breathing. The right foot is up between the hands into a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight or arch. Make sure the front knee is not over the toes. Into your palms, to your fingertips. You're just doing the best you can. You're going to settle, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. Letting go of judgment, letting go of the mindset of control, letting go of trying to be somewhere. Let go of all that type of stuff that's in the mind. Those are barriers. Those things will prevent the mind from becoming one. And we're doing yoga. To do yoga, you have to have the mind and body connect as one. That is yoga. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, then standing forward bend. Palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. Still let yourself breathe. Be aware of the movement. The belly expanding and then going in. As you inhale, exhale. But you're not focused on that. You're focusing on the breathing. Focus only on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale, and again, inhale, two more, exhale, hinge forward, pull yourself in and down, standing forward bend, focus on the breathing, think of nothing else but the breathing. And palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge, opening up. Feel opened. Openness is a mindset. So if you're feeling like, man, I'm not opening up, let go of that. That's judgment. That's not what we're doing. You're opening up. Judgment can't tell you that you're not opening up. Well, it can, but when you let go of it, you're opening up. And just focus on the breathing. Accept. And with the back foot goes under, high lunge, then move into the downward dog. Pushing into it. Accept where you are. And then just focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Make sure the head is dangling. No tension in the neck. Make it slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees, and the chest slide up. Or modify this. You're accepting where you are. Let go of judgment. It's a barrier. Same with the quote that I said in the beginning. The barrier with God and you becoming one is the barrier of hate. Just for example, let go of hate, and you and God can become one. Let go of those barriers. Then you can become God. Love, right? And downward dog, pushing into it. And I know traditional Muslims will disagree. Hey, you're not becoming God. That's not the same type of love. How you know? Make myself laugh. I'm the only one. No one's probably even watching this video. Make myself laugh. So left foot is up. Going crazy. Going crazy. Low lunge, opening up. Again, it's a mindset. I know one person's watching actually. Just focus on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Actually, I don't know who's watching. YouTube has all that blocked. Then high lunge. So here, that's just a transition pose. And then standing forward bend. Put yourself in and down. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Turn the palms out, push the air down and out, exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, last one. So pull yourself in and down, focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. Palms to the sides, feet, right leg is back. Low lunge, opening up. Again, opening up is a mindset. We're learning that on the yoga mat. Opening. You take that out in the real world, you're opened up. You're aware of what's going on. You're not judging. You have an open mind. You're able to think better. All that stuff happens. You learn that, and you obtain that on the yoga mat. Like the training ground almost. So high lunge. And downward dog, pushing into it. Focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And then slide into the upper dog. Downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels towards the floor. Pushing into it. This is the last downward dog, so really push into it. But of course, you only push into the spot right before you feel like you can't go anymore. Find that spot, settle there, and accept it. And then you're going to bring Left foot up, I'm sorry, the right foot up between the hands, low lunge. Just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. Then you're going to do high lunge, transition pose before you go into the next, which is the standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Then palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale. Turn the palms out, push your down and out. Exhale. You're going to go back. You're going to go back to mountain pose. Now, in the beginning, I'm just going to share this because this is what I feel during the routine. My right leg aches. And it comes from my spine, and the pinched nerve shoots down my leg. I was just reading an article that was about a book. I wish I knew the book, the name of the book and the author, but I don't. I don't even know the article. And what happens, the article was saying, is that when you have stress or anxiety or anything happening in the mind that's disturbing, and I'm a human being. I have stress. I have 4 kids, bills, and stuff like that. What happens is that I'm not saying I don't have an injury, but what happens is that your mind tries to protect yourself from the stress or anxiety or whatever it may be, and it heightens an injury or makes you feel injured somewhere. Now, I do have an injury, but it heightens that and it makes it hurt. So this article was saying, don't believe it, basically. He outlined things to say. So when I feel that, I just tell myself, I don't believe it. And actually, the pain goes away. Not all the time, I'm not a magician, but it goes away because there is a mind and body connection. And the reason I'm sharing that is because now it doesn't hurt. Now, did I stretch it out? Did I move it around and alleviated the pain? Probably, maybe. But also, I'm focusing on the breathing. And I was aware of it. Of course, I was talking to and joking around, but I also was taking my mind off of it and giving my mind permission to say, hey, don't focus on that, okay? And that's what the yoga was doing for me. And that's what it does. It's a mindset that does that. So it makes you focus on your breathing, makes you aware of issues, whatever it may be. Maybe your knee, maybe something else, totally different. But if you're focused on the breathing, you become aware of that. And those things, your issues, don't become you. And for me, in this situation, when I say I don't believe it, it goes away. Now, I probably talked too long there. So we're going to go to mountain pose. We're going to finish up. And remember, mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes, each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees bent, hips are tilted, no tension in the arms. Same thing with my shoulder. I just thought about it. Same thing with my shoulder. My shoulder aches. My arm aches. But when I do yoga, I forget about it. But not to say there's not an injury there. And here you're just going to focus on the breathing. Remember, you're lining up the skeleton. The bones are just lining up where the skeleton is just standing. And you're focused on the breathing. So you're going to watch yourself breathe. You do that by watching the belly go in and out as you inhale, exhale, or you watch the air go in and out of the nose, bringing your focus to the tip of the nose. And just watch yourself breathe. You're already breathing, so just watch it. Don't control it. It's very natural to start watching yourself breathe, and then you start controlling it. Let go of control. It's a process. You'll control it and you'll let go. You'll control it, you'll let go. One day you might control it the entire time. Man, I can't let go. You just let it happen. And through practice and consistency, it'll happen. And just watch yourself breathe. So we're going to stay here just a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. Let go of everything. And then what happens, you become the watcher. You realize you're just the watcher. We'll bring the palms together. Namaste. And that's it. So that's YouTube Live. Yoga routine number 102. I have a calendar right there. That's what I'm looking at. I don't even have 102 written on the 10th. But I know yesterday was 101. So I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time. So namaste. Peace and love.